Should men talk about their emotions more or less? Well, good question. I think most of men will talk very, very less about their emotions and they just suppress them. They just don't really know what's going on in their body, right? And that is, I think, an L in nowadays language. It's not great not talking about or being not aware of your own emotions, and you become more aware of actually, yeah, expressing your emotions, talking about them, understanding them, right? Sometimes you need somebody to talk about, to actually have a reflection, have a mirror of your emotion, and then understand what's going on. Sometimes you need feedback. So I would see also myself never talk about my emotions, because we get programmed, as a man, you have to be stoic, you have to be, you know, and there is reasons for it, and I get it, of course, we have to be stoic, but it is not weakness to be aware of your emotions and knowing what's going on in yourself and actually talk about it. Actually, it's very mature, it's very, I guess, stoic to talk about them, because you're not scared of talking about it, right? Isn't it another form of stoicism and maturity and, being brave to actually talk about it? Something you are vulnerable. And if you know you're vulnerable, but you're still expressing yourself regardless, that means, well, you're comfortable, right? You're comfortable to also get feedback on that. And it means that you're content with yourself. Whatever comes at you is not really, you know who you are. And of course, it is better, I think. It's not better, I would say, to talk with girls about it, or men. That was just in my head right now. I guess you can also talk with, mature, great friends about your emotions, and it's really beneficial. I used to always suppress them. I would never talk about emotion. I would never show any emotion. I would just be that rock of nothingness, no emotion. I think that's wrong, man. We are humans. Of course, we are men. We have to be strong. We have to be the protector. We have to be whatever, um, you know, control our emotions. But we should also express them and let them out, and understanding them. We 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 are humans too. We're not just robots. And I just learned this in the last couple of years more and more, and I open up with it way more. And I think even women would be attractive to it. That a man understands his emotions. He is emotion mature. He's open to learn and open to share, and that's what really women want, right? Sometimes they want just emotional connection rather than being super logical and always finding the best logical way. They want to feel. And we as men, we sometimes forget how to feel. And that is, yeah, you're not connected with yourself then. And if you're not connected with yourself, then any human being will never get the full potential of you. And I've been learning about this pretty much the last 2 years, since I'm, traveling around Asia, and especially getting out of that 9 to 5 and system and wherever I was, and living literally on islands, and, just being my raw, authentic self. I can understand why I felt how I feel, and just, what is inside me, and it's so beneficial, guys. I talk to women every day, and I'm happy to tell them whenever I cried about something. I'm happy to tell them what, something is inside of me which still hurts. Like, this is just me growing up and being mature and understanding myself. And if I understand myself, well, then people finally can understand me, because I can actually express myself in certain ways, and and can allow people to understand me. If you don't understand yourself yet, how can other people understand you? And you need to be in touch with your emotions. Emotions is not a weakness. Emotions are normal. We all have them, good or bad. We just need to understand them, and I think that is a part of stoicism. letting your emotions touch you, understand them, and not act upon them based on just an emotional reaction, right? That what usually is not the best decision, acting up upon emotions, right? Especially if you're making, big decisions, right? You want to be logical in that way, but you need to understand your emotions, and that is just allowing to be human. Yes, and I talk to young men right now who are suppressing that, who want to be, you know, who are young, but they want to be that hard shell. But inside we are soft. Of course, we're humans. We have emotions. We have a heart. And especially if you have people around you, even good friends, male men, just start talking about your emotions. Don't be a crybaby, but just look at this like, hey, I want to talk about this. I feel like maybe the other person learns about him or herself as well. So don't be shy about it, honestly. It's like in the beginning of your 20s, you think it's cringe, you think it's weak, but now I'm getting into my late 20s, and I'm happy that I'm happy to, I'm allowing now myself to share and express myself and also my emotional side. And there's so much many benefits of it. And you will also have more fruitful relationships in any way, friendships, partnerships, business ships, whatever it is. You need to understand your emotions, you need to understand yourself, and then you can allow the right people into your life. I hope that helped. Peace.